Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. And today what we're going to do is we're going to go over the current groundbreaking lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors, Keller Williams, RE/MAX, and others right now because consumers are suing them, basically saying that there's a monopoly going on and essentially that realtors are making too much money. So that's what we're going to go into today. This is a massive deal to realtors and can greatly change the industry. I wanted to jump into the article, which will be linked in my description, but I have to show you my camp real quick. I took my little baby girl, my daughter, it's just my daughter and I took her fishing. As a father, I absolutely love teaching my young ones skills, right? So right now I'm teaching her how to use little fish to catch big fish. And let me show you my camp because I'm also hoping that we hook up to a really big fish while I'm doing this, but take a look at my camp, you guys. So that one's my rod right there. That's my baby over there. Hi, Lily. Hi. How are you, baby? You catching fish? You catch a lot of fish?
It got away.
It got away?
Yeah.
Oh, you reeled it? I see. It's all right.
It was really like wiggling a lot.
I love it out here, you guys. Take a look at my truck. It's a 270-degree canopy. You guys can see that right there. Super cool. It really helps with the shade. And I know what you guys are thinking. I'm out fishing, go enjoy my daughter. And the thing is, I've already been here for 3 hours and I was like, you know what? Y'all are gonna get a video today no matter what. So for this effort, you guys, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below, and please guys, share this video. But the name of the article that we're gonna dig into today is titled, Judge Narrows In on Trial Date for Bombshell Commission Lawsuit. If the parties don't settle, expect a lengthy trial from the Mohoro home sellers case against NAR, Anywhere, Keller Williams, RE/MAX, and Home Services of America. This is an action-packed situation going on. I'm really quite surprised, y'all, that more of this is not in the news. I want to put something in perspective real quick. After the last financial collapse and through the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Act, loan officers actually started making about 60% less commission. Back in the day, before 2009, loan officers actually made 4 to 5 points per transaction. Right now for realtors, it's about 3% or 6% total, 3% to buyer, 3% to seller. If you go on MLS and you look at the commission, almost all of the commission is 3% to seller, 3% to buyer. And you guys, that's not supposed to be that way. And I'm one of the guys that, and I'm gonna get in trouble from my peers, I already know it, I'm sorry. I know some realtors are excellent realtors. Some realtors do a ton of work, but I'm gonna be honest guys, most realtors do not, and I believe that most realtors make way too much money for the effort that they put in to sell a house, because the reality is, and everyone knows this, you guys, the house sells itself. I mean, seriously, you guys, change my mind on that, but let's dig into this article right now. A courtroom showdown between attorneys representing home sellers nationwide and those representing the National Association of Realtors and major real estate franchisors Anywhere, Keller Williams, RE/MAX, Home Services of America is likely headed to trial in the first half of next year, the judge in the case said Tuesday. This is going on right now, and these are huge realtor companies, you guys. RE/MAX, Keller Williams are massive, and also the National Association of Realtors. This is a huge situation. The article goes on. In a telephone status hearing May 30th, Judge Wood of the U.S. District Court in Chicago, where NAR is based, said she expects to set a trial date sometime between September and mid-October for this year, and the date would likely be sometime in the end of the first quarter or second quarter of 2024. So this is going to get really interesting. Now, obviously, court hasn't started yet. All of the attorneys are putting in their paperwork, you know, sharing their stories on why they think they should sue and things like that. But to be honest with you guys, I know for a fact there are so many people getting duped right now. So you know what? I'm all for this court case. If they find any fraud or any wrongdoing, then by all means, what I'm saying is We need to put a stop to it, and it should change. Let me jump back into the article. That said, the suit known as Mo Roll, after the lead plaintiff alleges that some NAR rules, including one that requires listing brokers to offer buyer brokers a commission in order to list a property in a realtor affiliated multiple listing service, or what I'm always preaching to you guys to access is MLS, multiple listing service. Now they're saying that that violates the Sherman Antitrust Act by inflating seller cost. If the plaintiffs prevail, the NAR rule would likely go away, which could upend how buyer agents are paid throughout the industry. NAR has 1.5 million members nationwide. The vast majority are residential real estate agents and brokers. And let me tell you kind of how this works, you guys. So normally the seller, like 90% of the time, the seller is responsible for paying both their realtor and the buyer's realtor 3% each generally. And when we think about that, okay, and just realtor commission, 6% just to sell your house. I mean, even if you're a realtor watching this, you know, just imagine it was your house. Would you really want to pay 6% to sell your house? 6%, you guys, on a $500,000 house is $30,000 for one transaction. That's a tremendous amount of money. And again, that's all normally taken out from the seller's proceeds. When the seller sells their house and they settle at escrow, the escrow distributes funds that are paid from the lender, and those funds are used to pay off the lien, give the seller any remaining proceeds, and pay off the tens of thousands of dollars that realtors typically charge. And here's the thing, you guys hear me say this all the time. Even if you're not technically upside down in your house, remember it costs roughly 8% to sell your house. So even if you're like flat, if equity stays flat, most people are still gonna be a minimum of 8% upside down, because the way the industry works, they charge 6% to sell your house, plus another 2% roughly for other fees like taxes and insurance and things like that. So it gets extremely, extremely costly just to sell your house. No MLS are defendants in the case, meaning they are not being sued, but the suit does allege 20 MLSs nationwide are co-conspirators with NAR and the franchisors. The suit went one step closer to trial last week when a federal appeals court denied NAR and the franchisors' request for permission to appeal Wood's ruling granting class action status in the case, which was originally filed in 2019. Because of that denial, the suit will proceed as a class action, meaning that potentially millions, you guys, millions of home sellers in 20 MLS markets nationwide can ask to be reimbursed for an estimated, are you ready? $13.7 billion in damages. If the court awards damages, or 3 times the actual damages, that figure can reach $41 billion. If that happens, the entire industry as we know it will change. And honestly, you guys, I'm telling you, and I'm sorry to my peers that are listening to this, this is just me from my heart. I think it needs to change. I am so sick and tired of the consumers getting taken advantage of. And I know realtors work hard. I hear them complain about it all the time, but I don't care. We should be working hard, but I still don't think we should get paid $30,000 to do something that sells itself. But you guys, think about it. 41 billion, and I can tell you right now, these institutions, they don't have $41 billion. They've already paid that commission to their agents. It is possible, because they probably don't have that money, some of them may go bankrupt, and that's hard to believe because they're huge, but it's possible. Wood set the next telephone status hearing for August 2nd. She said that by then she hopes to have ruled on pending request from the defendants that some class members' claims be resolved through arbitration. She also said as the trial gets closer, she will want to switch to in-person hearings, perhaps starting in September. This will probably be on the news. It's going to get picked up. This is a huge deal. I cannot say that enough. This is massive, you guys. It goes on. I do believe when we are discussing some of the issues leading up to the trial, it will make sense for us to have these hearings in person. Y'all can pretty much tell that, you know, suing people is not fun. They started this in 2019. They finally have permission just to step forward. And you guys see this with new home builders, and I covered this. A lot of these places want to move to arbitration because it's cheaper, it's quicker, and it's done. There's no right to appeal, and it a lot of times takes the rights of the consumer away. And here's the thing that really drives me crazy. The fact that so many realtors do not cut their commission to get their clients the deal of their lifetimes. I absolutely hate it. I've talked to so many people and I've told them, you know, you could have made that deal work by cutting your commission, but almost all realtors say the same thing. I'm not gonna give it up, I earn the 3%, blah, 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 we'll just find another house. When the reality is, that's so bad to do to your client, because a lot of opportunities present themselves for agents to be able to get their client what they want, so long as they waive their commission. So unfortunately, we need now the law to step in, since unfortunately we cannot count on realtors to do the right thing, waive their commission to get their buyers the deal of their dream, or even sellers. There are some realtors, including myself, that do that, and it's a really good way to negotiate a deal for your client as a realtor, because a $15,000 cushion in commission allows us to negotiate a little bit. But it's like the entire industry is like they refuse to do that because of the egos, the ignorance, and things like that. It absolutely drives me crazy. It's just like, guys, help your clients out, give them some of the commission because you're still making a ton of money, and help them win. Let's finish this article out. She then asked the attorneys present on the call how long the trial for a similar case in Missouri, which is also class action, is scheduled to last once it starts on October 16th. I believe we have 3 weeks in that case that Your Honor may recall is a smaller case in terms of the geographic reach. The number of MLSs is 4, and it's 5-fold that in this case, said the attorney. Wood then asked if that meant the trial would exceed the wrap-up sometime in early November, and the attorney replied affirmative. The trial length suggests that if it's not settled, the case is in for an even longer trial in the first half of 2024. So do me a favor, y'all, comment below. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you agree with me, and especially if you're a realtor. If you're a realtor, if you're watching this, let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think that 3% is a fair amount of commission, and let us know why you think that, because I'm sitting here and I'm saying the majority of time, right? Like the great majority of the time, it's way too much money. It is way too much money, especially when you're selling a house. I get when you represent a buyer, right? But when you're representing a seller, you list it on an MLS, and MLS usually does all the work for you. I mean, that's the reality, guys. And that's why I also suggest that some of y'all get your license, because you're able to use that 3% or 6% in your favor as a buyer or a seller. Instead of paying a stranger that's basically just listing your house, pay yourself. That's my point. And you also have access to MLS. And unfortunately, you guys, unfortunately, and this is a bummer, I did not get any fish while making this video, and unfortunately we are at the conclusion. I'm gonna pan around where I'm at right now. I absolutely love taking these adventures like that, and I love bringing you guys along these adventures with me. Do y'all see where I'm at? Is this not just, isn't this just amazing? There's my kayak right there. So I kayak the bait out in the ocean for sharks. It's all catch and release, conservation. We tag them. There's my baby. Hey, Lily. There's my truck. But, unfortunately, no other fish. And if we do catch anything, what I'll do is I'll throw some pictures at the end of this video so you can see. But my daughter and I are absolutely having a blast. Go take your children out somewhere and do something like this. I can tell you guys, my daughter right there is having the time of her life, and she will never forget this ever. Other than that, you guys, if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck, and I hope you win.